Hey, what's happening guys? Josh here, aka the Gooch for Classic Elite, and this is the video review for Bloodrayne Betrayal on the PlayStation Network. Now, before we dig into this beautiful 2D bloodbath, I just want to mention that all of the great 720p gameplay footage from this review was recorded using the Hipog Colossus HD capture card. Okay, I'm gonna be frank. Just for a minute. The Bloodrayne series has always sounded fantastic on paper, but in practice, the prior games have been some mediocre third-person affairs. And the movies have, well, actually, let's just not go there. So, when I heard there was a new Bloodrayne game on the horizon, I really wasn't sure what to think, but then I found out and I seen the screenshots and I knew that this was going to be a 2D action-adventure game similar to the Castlevania games of yesteryears. It had my full attention. The first thing you're going to notice about Bloodrayne Betrayal are the fantastic visuals and art direction. Developer WayForward Technologies has created a truly beautiful game. While simple, the art has a certain punch that reminds me of the gritty Image comics from the 1990s. The entire game from start to finish is a truly pretty 2D animated gorefest. Some of the levels don't do much to distinguish themselves from one another, but really that's a small gripe considering the fluidity of the animation, the amount of enemy variety, and how sharp the game looks as a whole. Bloodrayne looks and plays a lot like classic games just like Castlevania, but not the newer Castlevania games. No, we're talking old school level-based progression here. So, that means no giant overarching map to explore, nothing like that. Although, that doesn't mean there aren't loads and loads of items to collect and discover. This gives the game a lot of replayability in finding all of these hidden items, and not to mention earning better scores in each level, which is much easier said than done. Just like the games that inspired it, Bloodrayne Betrayal is tough. It is really tough. I found myself at several points in the game becoming highly frustrated, although I never quit playing. I would just keep pushing myself to the next checkpoint and eventually the next level and eventually the end of the game, which really doesn't take too long. It's roughly a 6-hour game or so on your first playthrough. Bloodrayne is a pretty decent length at that, and this is not taking into consideration finding all of the collectibles and earning those better scores and improving my position on the leaderboards. So I know I have plenty left to satisfy my vampiric hunger. Speaking of hunger, Rain is a vampire, and you have the ability to suck blood from your enemies to regain health. You can also stab, cut, and slice through your enemies / dinner with your blades. The overall combat in Betrayal isn't going to blow you away, and it even comes off as really simple at first, but after playing a few hours, it starts to introduce new mechanics, such as turning your enemies into infected bombs that you can explode on command, in addition to other methods of dispatching your foes. Now, Bloodrayne isn't perfect. It has some issues, it has some awkwardly designed levels, and a looseness in controlling the main character that just never quite feels right. I gotta say, Betrayal hasn't completely reinvigorated the Bloodrayne franchise. There's still a long way to go, but developer WayForward Technologies and publisher Majesco have certainly set this half-vampire redhead on a path of video game recovery with a solid, enjoyable adventure that fans of challenging old-school 2D action will not want to miss.